Hey guys, Valerie here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, after 16 long months, finally, we have been granted partner visa subclass 820. Yay! Oh my gosh, I realized ang bilis ng panahon. Like, 16 months, ang haba niya, but time flew. Other people, they'd say that, no, it's not necessary. But then, I've joined a few Facebook groups about, lodging partner visas dito sa Australia. And for someone who did it myself, kami lang, no agent, no lawyer, I just thought na wala namang mawawala if we do this. So, yeah, I'm gonna share with you what we did after we lodged our partner visa application on shore. Let's go! So we lodged our application. That was October of 2024, just a week before my student visa expired. Hindi namin minadali because I'm not sure if I mentioned this previous vlogs ko, but hindi namin siya minadali because hindi naman magte-take effect yung bridging visa sa partners right after. Like, bibigyan ka ng bridging visa, however, magte-take effect lang yan after ma-expire ng existing visa mo. So, regardless, let's say for example, na-expire yung visa ko November 1 of 2024. Let's say for example, nag-lodge kami August of 2024. So, from August 2024, kahit may bridging visa ako sa partner visa, hindi yun nag-take effect unless ma-expire yung student visa ko ng November 1. So, kahit may nakuha ka ng bridging visa from lodging a partner visa, magte-take effect lang yung bridging visa mo pagka-expire ng existing visa mo. So, okay, we lodged it a week before my student visa expires. So, for a week, kahit may bridging visa akong natanggap sa pag-lodge ng partner visa, which was bridging visa A, the no travel visa, student pa din ako sa last week. December of 2024, nakakuha na ako or naka-apply na ako ng Medicare. However, since bridging visa pa ako, I'm waiting for a temporary visa grant. Yung naging Medicare card ko, hindi siya green. Blue siya na Medicare card, which is the same benefit. However, it's just interim card siya. So, it's this one. Interim card ng Medicare, blue, hindi siya green. So, nag-e-expire siya 1 year after. So, yung nakuha ko, nung December 2024, mag-e-expire siya October of 2025. So, nung dumating yung October of 2025 last year, they automatically just sent me another card, another Medicare card, na valid for 2026. Ito na yun siya. So, hindi na ako nag-reapply, parang automatic na lang sa system nila na may expire na yung interim card niya ng October 2025. So, pinadalhan nila ako ulit ng another interim card, given na still on a bridging visa pa ako, 2026 yung expiry. Yes, may Medicare na ako. I was able to use this for GP consults. Legit, hindi siya fake. Pero mahal pa din. So, diba, nag-DIY lang kami. So, whatever questions or whatever concerns na hindi ko masagot or hindi ko mahanap yung sagot online or may nahanap ako online or sa website ng IMI but di pa rin ako sure, lahat ng inquiries ko, tinatawag ko talaga sa kanila. So, guys, wag kayong matakot. They are very friendly and sasagot sila for any questions. However, you need to remember this, they cannot give advice. FAQs lang. Kung may tanong ka, sasagutin nila. Pero if yung tanong mo is parang asking for advice or asking for their views like or opinions kung anong gagawin mo, ganyan, bawal. So, hindi sila pwedeng mag-advise. I-refer ka na nila to a migration agent or a migration lawyer if parang advice na yung sinisik mo. If serious stuff na I need an answer talaga, I call them. So, lahat ng sasabihin ko, based lang din to sa mga natanggap kong sagot from the immigration, like experience ko. Lahat ng sinabi or lahat ng sagot ng immigration, yun yung ginawa namin. So, BVA or Bridging Visa A. So, that is a bridging visa, but no travel. So, if you are planning to travel outside of Australia or internationally, you need to have a bridging visa B para makapasok ka ulit ng Australia. Last year, May 2025, book na yung flight namin to Cebu. January pa lang, I called the immigration to ask when is the best time to apply for a bridging visa B. Yung sagot ng immigration was at least 4 weeks from your flight date para daw may enough time to receive your bridging visa B. The earlier the better. However, yung shortest is 4 weeks. Hindi kasi natin alam kung kailan mag-grant yung bridging visa, right? Tapos sabi ko, what if 2 weeks na, hindi ko pa din siya na-receive? Then, that's the time I call them back. Thankfully, yung bridging visa B ko na grant lang din siya the day after ko nag-lodge. So, it's truly, very unpredictable. Hindi mo talaga alam kung kailan mo matatanggap. May iba, akong friends na nag-apply ng bridging visa B, natanggap nila yung visa mga 1 week later. So, ganyan, hindi mo talaga malalaman. So, it's better daw na mag-allot ka talaga ng enough time to get the documents or get the visa. Yung bridging visa B, valid siya for 1 year. So, I am allowed to travel multiple entries within a year. However, tumawag ako sa immigration just a few weeks ago kasi supposedly pa-expire na yung BVB ko. Tinanong ko sa kanila, do I need to reapply for a bridging visa B to make sure that I have a visa? Mag-e-expire na yung BVB ko March 26 of 2026. So, ang sinabi ng immigration is, you don't have to reapply for a bridging visa B unless magta-travel ka. So, technically, I am still under a bridging visa B, pero I cannot travel unless I reapply. So, not necessary, only necessary if magta-travel ka ulit outside Australia. Luckily, nag-grant na yung subclass A20. So, I don't have to worry about all of that anymore kasi nag-grant na yung A20 ko. Nakakalito? Nalilito ako. Hopefully, magets niyo. Another question na tinanong ko sa immigration was, kung magta-travel ako international, do I need to update my address sa IMI account ko? So, ang sagot ng immigration was yes. For the reason na gusto nila akong kontakin, may question sila about my application, alam nila kung saan ako. 4 times ako nag-travel ng Philippines last year. So, every time na nandun ako, ina-update ko yung IMI account ko ng address ko sa Philippines. And pagkabalik ko, ina-update ko din na dito na ulit yung address ko. Especially daw, if you're going to travel for like more than a week. Yung purpose is, alam nila kung saan ako exactly at kung paano ako kontakin if ever. So, I'm not sure if ina-advise ito ng mga agent or ng lawyer, but ako, yung tinanong ko was the immigration, yung customer service. So, sinunod ko lang. Even yung partner ko, yung time na nandun kami sa Cebu, yung application din niya as a sponsor, in-update ko din yung address niya. Just so malaman ng immigration na, magkasama sila during this time pala. Nasa iisang address lang din sila during this time. So, yun. Tas nung pagkabalik namin dito, in-update ko siya ulit sa address namin. So, may nabasa ako sa isang Facebook group about partner visa na once you lodge your application daw, you have to update your application every 6 months. Para daw, like, may update din yung immigration how your relationship is going, nasaan na kayo, in terms of how genuine your relationship is, your life together. So, yung iba, sinabi hindi. Yung iba, sinabi yes, you have to. For someone na DIY, na-think ko, wala naman sigurong mawawala kung gawin ko yan. It could be helpful, it could be not. You know, showing the immigration na, okay, sila pa rin. Gawing strong. Ito pala yung ginawa nila for the last 6 months, di ba? Yung tanging in-update ko lang yung photos namin for the last 6 months. Mid of 2025, that's second half of 2025. Lahat ng sinabi namin sa statements, especially with our future plans, we really made sure na ginawa namin siya according to the month or the stage na sinabi namin gagawin siya. Hindi kami gumawa ng kwentong plano. Lahat ng binigay namin sa statement is totoong plano namin na totoong gagawin namin. So that's also one thing siguro na in terms of alignment, nung pagka-update ko ng photos, nakita din ng immigration or ng case officer na ginawa talaga nila yung sinabi nila sa statement. So no to fake plans para lang maging maganda yung mga statement, okay? Kasi baka back to you. Also, if you have a driver's license in the Philippines, tas ginagamit mo siya dito to drive, when you lodge a partner visa, kahit nasa bridging visa ka pa, kailangan mo nang kumuha ng Australian driver license. So, yung explanation ng TMR is, yung partner visa kasi, considered na yan as permanent na visa. Hindi na yan considered na temporary like a student visa. So, hindi mo kailangang hintayin na maging isang permanent resident ka. Yung work ko, hindi siya tumatanggap ng international license. They need an Australian driver license. So, kaya kumuha ako. Surprisingly, dun ko lang nalaman na hindi na pala sana ako pwedeng mag-drive. So, sabi nung taga-TMR na, kailangan mo nang i-convert yung license mo. Example, may accident on the road or may checkpoint or napara ka ng isang police, tas i-present mo yung international license mo, tas knowing na bridging visa daw ako waiting for partner visa grant, possible fine or possible maka-affect pa to sa application ko. So, ayoko na ng stress, die! Kina-convert ko na talaga siya and hinintay ko na lang talaga. Make sure ko lang na pumasa ako sa driving test and makuha ko na yung license ko para wala na akong stress. Imagine, 1 year na ako na-drive on an international license, hindi ko alam yun. So, parang na-paranoid ako. Like, what if napara ako noon, tas hindi ko alam. So, that's it. Yun yung mga ginawa namin after we lodged our partner visa application. Whatever concern, question, meron ako, talagang tumatawag ako sa immigration. Yeah, and be in the relationship, enjoy the moment, like, continue choosing each other. The highs, the lows, it's normal, that's life. Like, be in a genuine relationship with your partner. Actually, yung feeling ko is normal. Yung wala akong visang hinihintay, wala ako sa bridging visa. Yun yung feeling ko. Talagang nag-live lang kami as partners. Like, normal life. Hindi na namin inisip na may hinihintay kaming visa. Even yung parents niya, yung mother ko, nagtatanong na, wala pa ba yung visa? Like, oo nga, no? Actually, naghihintay pa din kami ng visa. So, yeah, yun. I'm not sure if may nakalimutan ako na i-share, but if you have any questions na I feel like kaya kong sagutin, please comment it down below and I will try my best na masagot ko siya. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope to see you on the next one. I hope na I'm able to share, important tips and sana magamit nyo yung experience ko for your journey as well. See ya!